The Neo Reality Entertainment brand expands with a relaunch of the Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News Talk. Your host, Eric Brown, gives his insights and thoughts in the ever-expanding news world of comic books, professional wrestling, gaming, TV, and movies. Be sure to donate to the brand and keep up to date with additional content on YouTube channels such as Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, and NRE Pop Culture Omniverse.
Today's edition of Neo Reality Collective is brought to you by Anchor.fm, a free distribution service podcasting hosting platform that allows you to record your podcast on your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so much more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor.fm app or go to Anchor.fm to get started today. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Welcome everyone to Neo Reality Collective Reviews. Finally, after 4 long years, we are finally getting Kelly Sue and Phil Jimenez's magma opus of Wonder Woman, Historia, the Amazons. A story that has been in development for the last 4 years, since 2018, and when it was first announced, it was announced as a Homerific epic of the lost history of the Amazons and Queen Hippolyta's rise to power, featuring monsters and myths. This 3-book saga spans history from the creation of the Amazons to the moment Steve Trevor washes up on the shores of Paradise Island, changing our world forever. So, this is a massive prequel, and considering Phil Jimenez is involved with this, that means you automatically must love it, because Phil Jimenez is an awesome artist, and I demand you respect it. And the fact that he's a fan of Donna Troy also helps. Now, I must stress, this is just book 1 of what seems to be a 3-book series, but I don't know if we'll get the other 2 books down the road. We could, since this one took 4 years to make just the first issue. Luckily, this is a DC Black Label imprint and not a massive in-continuity story, because we already had enough freaking delays with comics that were supposed to be massive events. You know, Doomsday Clock. Yeah. And this would feature coloring from High Five Studios, Arif Petito, and Roman Fajero Jr. If I pronounce any of those names wrong, please sue me afterwards. But Kelly Sue and Phil Jimenez. I've seen Kelly Sue's work with Aquaman, it was pretty good, but Phil Jimenez is the artist, that was the main selling point. Okay, it's Phil Jimenez. I haven't seen this guy work artwork interiors for a long time. So naturally, I'm hooked. Then I asked a specific question that I kind of wish was asked, since I asked this question because Phil Jimenez is such a fan of this character and written her a line when he was having his run on Wonder Woman. Is Donna Troy going to be in this story? Nope. No, Kelly Sue answered for me on Twitter. Yeah, she's not. I asked Phil Jimenez, then she apologized for answering in his place and whatnot. And I was like, no, you're good. But then I gave my second reaction, which was clearly professional and clearly the responsible that any fan of Donna Troy would handle when she gets the snub once again from DC Comics' editorial staff. I go Darth Vader and scream, no! Because honestly, I kind of also hoped that while this is taking place before Steve Trevor came about, I was kind of hoping there would be like a miniature kind of side story in the book that would finally end this nightmare that we got with Donna Troy's origin story, so we can finally move forward with her character instead of hoping that we get some semblance of plot progression with her arc instead of who is Donna Troy for like the 800th time. Oh god. And even Phil Jimenez is like you could do all the origin stories and condense it like Hickman did with Moira Matagra when they did the retcon, where she has the ability of reincarnating and all the lives she's lived are all connected. Sadly, that's not how that works, sadly, because that would have been an awesome idea. But yeah, Wonder Woman Historia of the Amazons by Phil Jimenez artwork and Kelly Sue writer, with multiple colorists involved, and oh god, I was excited. Damn it, I was ready for this. So let's dig into Wonder Woman Historia of the Amazons by Kelly Sue and Phil Jimenez of the DC Black Label imprint, and see where this epic Homer tale begins. We're back, everyone. Let's dig right into Wonder Woman Historia, The Amazons, Book 1, Issue 1. The Amazons, they whisper, warrior women, as though such a thing were foreign to our sex. Some say they cut off their breasts to aid their flight of the arrows. Some are liars, fabulists, the children of Ares, the daughters of war. No, the Amazons have no fathers. Surely this we know. The Amazons sequester themselves from the world of man, save for Diana. At least until that whole event where, they integrated back into society, became more of a democracy, then embraced technology with a mix of magic, and they strove to bigger heights than ever. Then Infinite Crisis happened and reversed the status quo back to the being of the monarchy. Then Amazon's attack happened, then they were wiped out for a time, then they came back, then the reboot happened where they demonized them into being flirtatious, let's go with that, to men on ships, and then kill them after they have their babies, and then take all the men somewhere, and oh god, the New 52 and Amazon's attack really wrecked them for a time. Yeah. A gift from the warriors of Themyscira, our Wonder Woman. No, not that either. None of it. History, young one, is written by the victors. In the bitter battle between the Amazons and the gods of men, the Amazons lost. There's no objective version, neither this one nor that, but this is our story. The Amazons Iota. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrong. And it begins. Yeah, so the way they made this sound with the whole there is no objective version, neither this nor that, it's like sounding like it could be canon, could not be canon. It's your interpretation. So yeah, it begins with the goddesses. Hesta, of the hearth fire and the altar flame. Hesta enters freely into every home. Women she sees beyond your walls. Artemis, the huntress, she is the moon in the wilderness and the restless heart. Artemis knows you for the wild creature you truly are. Demeter, grain and growth in the secret cycle of life and death. Mothers, literal and figurative, Demeter watches as you tend your gardens. She sees you weep for all that will not grow. So, AKA, Poison Ivy would probably get along with this person. Let's see, Hecate, goddess of crossroads and witchcraft and of death. Hecate knows your power and your fear. Aphrodite, love, beauty, pleasure, passion, goddess of appetites. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name. I'm pretty sure I got that wrong. Aphrodite feels your ache with hunger. Athena, the weaver, cunning and sharp, goddess of the city. She's made of edges. As such, Athena knows your mind. And I must stress, these are beautiful art. This is beautiful artwork from Phil Jimenez. The guy still has it. Come on, man. Come back to comics and try and pitch a Donna Troy story where you will end this whole Infinite Front. That will end this whole story of Donna Troy's origin, so we can finally get Donna Troy back on that pedestal where she belongs. Up there with Wonder Woman. Up there with Batman, Superman, Nightwing, Harley Quinn, which is a thing I'm still baffled by, but okay, representation in terms of power seekers, in terms of power levels, and we can put Donna Troy up there because, damn it, she deserves it. Also, these artworks must be preserved for all time. And Hera, goddess of women, aka Hera, the psychopathic woman who will kill anyone who dares touches Zeus, even though Zeus is kind of a bastard. My God, what the hell, man? How many daughters has this guy produced alone? How many children? Like in DC Comics, in fact, even the narrator calls her this. Hera sees with 1,000 eyes. She is your queen, your sin eater. At least you're willing to admit Hera can be kind of that sometimes. I'm like, I understand why Hera's like that, considering how she got married into Zeus's life in the most messed up ways. Hera bears the burden of foresight, a practice. Hera knows your pride and your rage before you do. Every bruise to your dignity burns her like fire. She's branded with it, and she loves you beyond reckoning, for all belong to her. The subjugation and abuses of not men by men are too numerous to count in a library, let alone a book. It's just his nature, they say. We say nature may be brutal, but it is not sinister. But if it were in his nature to dominate his sisters, there would be an instant garrison to speciality. For the institutions of men care not for the well of women. You don't have to be the queen of gods to recognize injustice. Can you imagine what it would feel like to bear witness across millennia? Degradation, charity, exclusion, entitlement, occultation, suppression, humiliation, subjugation, assault, and murder. So a lot of things that go on in our world, but for everybody to see it all at once. And then we get this beautiful spread and of gorgeous art of pots filled with the history and the subjugation of women in the Amazon's origin, only for someone to send with 1,000 eyes. Enough! The voice of a woman, and with, oh my God, this artwork is so beautifully detailed. And so they gathered in Olympus to present their grievances to their king. My doves, my beauties, how do you glow when you're are ripe with passion? Goddesses, Zeus, not birds, not fruit, furious, not ripe. We haven't hearts any more than we have feathers. No. Ooh, these forms are false, worn and then discarded like gowns. Gowns with feathers. We have not come here to wrestle you with words, not with a pitiful volley such as that one. Not birds, you say. The peacock, the owl, the chicken, was it? Bones and all. And you claim no heart, but I known you to blush on occasion. On occasion? Oh, you must call me more often, husband. These cheeks have been stained with dual road of loathing and disgust for eons now. Oh, there, see? That's my girl. Now you found your wit. How may I be of service, my queen? Yes, you bitch slapped me and called me names and insulted my honor. And thus I compliment you for your actions. We have had enough of men. What? Which men, mother? All of them. What do you propose? How about a flood? Wipe mankind out and start over? No. According to the DC universe, every religion is actually real, which means God of the Christian Bible already did that last week. Yeah. And the fact that I think Poseidon shows up and he was willing to already start massacring on the drop of a hat. Not mankind, Poseidon. Men. Our case was made on the first page of Historia, King. The history of men is chronicle of crimes against women. I've read Historia. There are tales of love and beauty there too. Ask the daughters of Linda about love and beauty, would you, darling? Historia 193. 1.93. Every daughter of Linda will work as a prostitute until she has raised sufficient enough money for dowry and secure a husband. There are far worse fates. The indignity lies not in the cumbrance of love, goat, but in the irony of whoring yourself to many to earn the privilege of whoring yourself to one. Yeah, remember how I said this is a DC Black Label story? Yeah, it goes kind of very Homer-esque in the Greek epic poems. Herodotus and Thundercles. Wait, no. I'm trying to pronounce that name. Wrote histories of war, of ravished war brides and grieving mothers. Men suffer too. There's honor in suffering. I like to do you serious honor then. And yeah, she charges and tries to strangle him. And I'm pretty sure that's Apollo. Do you mean to suggest that women have done something to deserve the station? You've made your point, girls. Women do suffer, historically and undeniably, at the hands of men. But their world is not without justice. Yes, I should know. I turned into a bird for my wife and then sexually assaulted her. Yeah, that's an actual thing in the Greek mythology. Zeus was messed up. Got it. As a whole, no. Individually, on occasion. But you miss my point. Each of us has a role to play. Ares is the god of war, for instance. Poseidon, the sea. Apollo, the sun. Hephaestus, fire. Dionysus, wine. And theater and related debauchery. And Hermes, trade, father, merchants and thieves. Right you are. An aggressive nature serves man well. From time to time it drives him to overstep, and then there is retribution. For I am Zeus, god of sky, storm and order, and justice. And his initial reaction is to just blow stuff up. Way to go, Zeus. Mount Olympus thunders and crackles under the skies of sunder. So, it's just because you, the god justice, say is just? What is the purpose of man, father? What is the greater good so served by this violent nature? To exist, to live, to love, to eat, to shed, to people of the world with his children, to look after them until the time comes for them to look after him. Do you even hear yourself, you old fool? I am genuinely sorry it is hard for you to understand, my child, but nothing is without reason. Zeus, you should be like the last person to be talking about how women are, because you kind of taken advantage of the human mortal. In fact, one of your daughters is a superhero. And in multiple continuity revisements, Wonder Woman was your daughter. So, and most of it comes from depraved debauchery. So, the meetings continue as more beautiful artwork, as this woman goes ahead and says, the mighty Zeus has spoken when. That went well, I think. Hell is the state of being. Hades is a place. All you have to do is get there is die. If death is not an option, there are other ways in. On hand and knee. Over the river of pain. Or through that the forgetting. There is no easy path. Nothing is given. But the goddesses will not be stayed. Not by anyone. And so they reconvene in a dark cave from the outer edges of Tartarus, the well of the lost. The souls of all women whose lives were taken in violence are conjoined there, eternally guarded, loved, and revered as they should have been in life. The goddesses meet to pay tribute and execute their plan. All the goddesses, save for one. Where is Hera? For reasons beyond their understanding, Hera does not come. She's afraid. Mind your tongue. I will not. She's afraid of Zeus. He is her husband and her king. Do I even need to explain why that's not a good answer? Zeus's power is infinite, and yet here you are all of you. On your belly, you came, Heraclit. Were you afraid? Yes, I was, and And still we are here. Cowardice does not falter a goddess, says the little wild one, as she convinces the others to proceed without Hera, without their queen. And so it is fitting that their rebellion should begin with a tear. I offer our cause the tear of Aphrodite. With them comes passion and the restless nature of the ocean. I, Demeter, offer the pomegranate seed and a leaf from the Seraphim. With these gifts, the blood of this endeavor will flow with dreams and ideas. Let them, the rivers must flow, the rivers must flow! Artemis offers this bone, torn from my own flesh. Once a cage with a heart, I set it free. And in doing so, I offer courage and liberty. Hecate offers dirt and clay, to which all living things return. With them we give the gift of fear, and the mastery of self that comes with temperance. From Athena, the sharpest of blades steeled, with its strength and cunning. And I, Historia, give unto the slurry a burning coal of godly light, the fire of life. And as energies and cosmic powers start shifting alignments across Olympus and to the earth and stars, Earth's narration continues. The souls in their gardens have accepted these gifts. The deed is done, and all that remains is for the gods to portion the development among themselves. Each will protect her share and give it safe passage, for though it may be fitting that their preferity come from Tartarus, it is not right to give birth there. And so they labor, each bearing her measure out of Hades to the land of the living, where earth becomes yet another mother, accepting the seed and warming it as the goddesses stand guard for many turns of the moon. At last there is life. The first Amazon is born from the vessel of Demeter. Are you surprised? Had you heard she was Athena's? We are warriors after all, and the history of man does prefer a tidy narrative, but no, sisters. The first is born to the goddess of the harvest, for it is Demeter who ensures that man reaps what he sows. They must sow. They all must sow. The first Amazon is called Palestine. She is joined by others. Born from Hesper's vessel. Merope from Hector. Helion from Athena. Paraith, Aphrodite, and from Artemis, queen of the wild things. This is born on the Amazon called Aphrodite. Anthropy. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering these names. I am so sorry. At every birth there is a risk and pain. This is true of creatures, ideas, and tragedies. Mortals' birth are particularly gruesome. They enter the world unprotected, screaming, suited for inevitable suffering. Amazons draw their first breath, grimed and armed. There is no innocence in them. Vulnerability comes later, when it is cultivated and earned. Mathematicians call the number 30 paranormal or semi-perfect. Amazons call it sacred history, a tribe of 5 for each goddess. Day for Hera, it has begun. So I see. Congratulations to you, a mother at last. Not quite. As close as you'll get, take it. Artemis calls you a coward. She is a child. What sure one would I be if I answered the insults of a child? What do you want from me? We'd like you to join our cause. I can't do that. He'll punish you either way. You must know that. I do. Then would you not be wise to... I said no! I am Hera! I gotta ruin Hercules' life when that time comes. Phallus, Athena, goddess of wisdom, cool-headed brilliance personified. You presume to know what I should do? You study what has been elevated, what is, and imagine what might be. It is meant to be a sight. My queen, you have just described the act of thinking, whereas I see it all at once. Where we have been, where we are, and where we might go. Oh my god, we're gonna enter the war of the god space! Take me back! Can you imagine not thinking, but knowing? I cannot. Then what good is your counsel to me? Are you saying you all know our efforts to be futile, our venture doomed? I am saying that I cannot join you, but that I will not impede you, and for what it is worth, I wish for your success. A doomed venture may still be worthy one. Athena, wait! Keep to the darkness, Hera whispers, for the light will be your undoing. Then we cut to what seems to be centuries later, or at least enough time. Two Amazonians go ahead and travel to a house. It's good to see you, Petra. And you, George. Who is this? My assistant. She's young. A widow. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. Hippolyta means to say she's accepted her fate. Go now. Go now, George. Take the girls. Make an offering to Artemis for the health of your wife. We'll send for you when it's done. A woman's giving birth. Got it. Thank you for your services, lady. Take those rags and wash them, please. There, sweetheart. How are you feeling? I'm tired, Petra. I'm so tired. I've had, multiple children. And I can just tell you that that might actually be true. Considering what she says later. Oh my goodness. Well, you're almost there. I can feel the crown of the head. Thank the gods. It's a lot of blood. Aye, but I've seen worse. We'll get the babe out and see what we can do. Oh, Nissa, I know you're very tired, but with the next pain you need to bear down hard. I can't. You can. I know you can. And she pushes and screams. That's the way. And a baby is born. He's strong. He sounds strong. And they uncut the umbilical cord. Yeah, like I said, this is a Black Label gory story. Hey, Nissa, dear, I need you to move up on the cot past the rest of the mess to see if I can stop the bleeding. A boy, though. A strong boy? Another girl. No! Does that feel good? I know you're cold. We'll have you warmed up in just a moment. Here you go. Isn't that better, little one? Doesn't that feel good? I did what I could. We'll have to wait and see. They have 3 girls already. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So this woman went through 3 girls. George was very clear they cannot afford another, so you will do what must be done. Yes, of course. We will violently murder them! Exposure is not infanticide. Hippolyta lies to herself. To murder a child would be humorous as it would be heinous. To expose one, on the other hand, is a common practice for children that are ill, or female, or otherwise unwanted. It is to leave fate to the gods. If it is meant to live, it will live. Perhaps a barren woman will find the babe and raise it as her own. If the child is unfit for this world, it will die. There is no need for guilt. The gods will decide. She puts the little baby in a floating basket and floats it down the river. If she does die, perhaps it will be a mercy. If she's found, she's more likely to be sold into slavery than reared with love. Yes, what will be just. The gods will decide as they decide the fates of us all. They will choose wisely, yes. And she reconsiders that thought and says, no. No! Pursued by her fear and regret, Hippolyta runs back to the river, and she tumbles down and crashes. She has no plan for what she'll do with the child once she finds it, nor will she ever need to make one. And she makes the tall leap and falls into the river. Jumps once more, crashes, and multiple stuff, and emerges from the water. And so she runs, looking for the babe at first, and then she screams in mortal terror because, and there's even a scene where, so remember those YouTube videos where they have this circle dot for weird reasons to show a face? Yeah, that's what Phil Jimenez did with this artwork scene. He shows this massive piece of land and where Hippolyta is on the entire corner of the island. Yeah. And then Hippolyta runs, and crashes, runs again. Running because not running would mean admitting the babe would not be found. And so she runs through hunger and pain for hours, days, seasons, until she can run no more. Wait, she ran for God knows how long? I hate to be the one to say this, but I think she's dead at that point. Still, Hippolyta cannot outpace the world of men. And then she opens her eyes to encounter strange people. What have we here? A gift from the gods? A runaway slave by the look of her, and so she prepares to die. Is he right? Have you betrayed your master? Then her eyes widen and she realizes she's bounded. I don't think she likes you. She's not going to answer. Sure she will. She'll answer or I'll cut her tongue out. Maybe I'll cut it out anyways. Hippolyta is too tired to speak. And bloody eyes. So we speak for her. So yeah, we go into a violent escapade of violence and redness. And it says shock and horror eavesdrops the people. Well, the Bragans don't die that night for what they might have done to Hippolyta. They die for all the women who came before, the ones who put us on their path. They die for their tongues they did take. And in doing so, they led us to this moment, to our Hippolyta, our future queen. She's small, weak, one half dead, and the other half longing to join it, and yet I feel the echo of this meeting in my blood and bones. Drink! And she does. Now eat. Who are you? I am the Amazon, Antipro, the first of the tribe of Artemis. What are you? What is an Amazon? An Amazon is your sister and your protector. Do you know what I have done? I know what this world has required of you, and I know what that has cost. We leave her rations and a horse. No, please don't go. She needs to rest, but she's strong. She'll survive. And we set out, not knowing when or if we would meet again. Please don't leave. Don't leave me. Where do the souls of the dead infants lie? Shall we take her to Elysium or the fields? This soul will stay with me for a while. I have plans for her. I need another pair of eyes. You have 1,000 eyes. And now I have 1,002. What will you watch with your new eyes? That's my business. As your plan has begun, you say. Well, smart girl. Well, so has mine. And Hippolyta rides a awesome looking horse with skeletal stuff and everything. The end of book 1 on Wonder Woman Historia, The Amazons, Guide to the Amazon Tribes with design notes by Phil Jimenez. The tribe of Hesta, the sketches, the tribe of Artemis, the tribe of Athena, the tribe of Hepta, the tribe of Demeter, the tribe of Aphrodite. Oh god. That's the end of book 1 and the end of Phil Jimenez's run on this book, because apparently he's not going to be the artist for the next book. Book 2 coming 2022 of spring. So, Wonder Woman Historia. So, the reason why I didn't make as much jokes as here is because this is a beautifully drawn story and a very Homeric story that is told from Greek mythology. And I'm getting Odyssey, Iliad vibes from it, from what I've read and watched. It's an amazing story, and I urge you all to check it out if you want to see it. Just for the art alone. The writing's pretty good, but the art alone by Phil Jimenez and the colors are awesome. Like, all of this should be spread across the world and put in museums. That's how good Phil Jimenez's artwork has become. He should be preserved in the United States' Preservation Registry. Because, damn it, this is awesome artwork, and I demand more content like this. If only we can see more Phil Jimenez down the road with his art, and I really hope he gets a chance to write Donna Troy and Infinite Frontier if that ever comes to fruition. Please, for God's sakes. But that's not here, that's not now. Oh, we'll see down the road if Phil Jimenez is here to still work on stuff, but we'll have to see one day. He's done this book, let's see how he goes for the next chapter in his life. This was Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News Talk. Feel free to follow more and on my YouTube channels and all my content, and stay tuned for more. Signing out, enjoy this last advert, and let us sign out.
Be sure to donate to the brand and keep up to date with additional content on YouTube channels such as Neo Reality Entertainment, NRE The Wrestleverse, and NRE Pop Culture Omniverse.